And welcome to another show of Cyber Papa's new battlefields. I'm so happy to have you here with us. Today we have a great show. We're celebrating our 500th subscriber, and we've got a lot of folks here to help celebrate with us and talk about the life of a cybersecurity content creator. So if this is what you're here for, stay tuned. And welcome back. Let me go ahead and introduce my co-host, the Cyber Warrior. Cyber Warrior, how are you doing this afternoon?
Man, I'm doing great. So it's been a long week. I know me and you have been doing a lot of work on the back end. I have been doing everything I can to help promote your new cause. And I'm going to be honest. So beyond being a creator, your new cause, and I'm going to butcher it. So if you would mind saying the name.
There you go.
Yeah, that one.
It is raicescyber.org.
I don't have the accent, so I can't
roll
do it.
the R.
Oh, I can roll the R. Right. Right. Okay.
Have Tyrone go ahead and roll his.
So, but no, it's been great. I love what you're doing with it, and I love the fact that with all the groups out there, and I told you, and I think this is where it spawned from about a month ago when I had you on the show on Security Happy Hour, was not really seeing any groups on Twitter, any groups on LinkedIn or in industry for the Hispanic people. So, you joked about, why I never shout out the Latinx community, and it was a joke between us, but it was something that I felt was needed at the same time. So seeing this is one of the big things that I was very happy to see where you've gotten to so far. And I really hope to see it continue to grow and to get the support that it deserves. So I'm really happy to see that you were able to get that done.
Well, we, in 1 week of being on here with the organization, we have over 200 followers on Twitter. We have about 200 members now. We're in talks with a couple of organizations for grants and support. We are already part of an organization within Temple University for Hispanics. There's going to be more coming out of that. So please, if you're listening, go to raicescyber.org on Twitter or go to raicescyber.org website and click on the join us there to join our newsletter so you can see all the growth that we're going to be doing here.
Yeah, definitely. And real quick, on Facebook, Laura Williams put up a comment. I am a mom, and cybersecurity is important to me. And Laura, I want to say I did a video, but if not, I can do one. I got 5 boys, so cybersecurity is just as important to me. I've tried to promote how to help parents and things of that nature with their children. I've done videos on TikTok about it. So between myself, Eric, and anybody else you see on this channel today, and so many others, we will gladly help you out. Feel free to reach out, and we can give you any advice that you may need.
All right. So for some house cleaning, if you're on Facebook, make sure you hit streamyard.com/Facebook so that we can see your comments live on air. Okay. And at this point in time, I want to also let you guys know that during today's program, we're going to be giving away 3 courses. I'm going to put this big here. Okay. So tonight, courtesy of cybersupply.drop.org on the Hackersploit Academy, we're going to be giving 2 courses for the Complete Ethical Hacking Bootcamp and one course for the Nmap for penetration testing. So stay tuned, watch for the hashtags, and we're going to announce that, and go ahead and enter to win live on air. We're going to do one at the beginning of the show, one in the middle of the show, and one at the end of the show. So please stay tuned. All right, and with that, let's bring in our distinguished panel of content creators in cybersecurity. So here they come, and there's a bunch of us. Here we go. All right, so let's say hello. So let's start with StudioSec.
Hey guys, I'm StudioSec. Thank you, Eric, for having me. This is awesome.
This is awesome. Thank you very much for being here. All right, Tyrone.
What's going on, everyone? Tyrone Wilson, Cover 6 Solutions. You know me, I enjoy putting out the content. I'm actually in a class right now, so I've got about 3 minutes to stay online with the panel, but I look forward to coming back, though. So all right. See you all soon.
You're always welcome. All right, Harley.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? My name's Harley. I run a YouTube channel called Infinite Logins. I'm on Twitter as Infinite Logins. Feel free to connect with me online. Super happy to be here. I've talked with some of these guys before. Davin, what's up? What's up, Cody? Cyber Warrior. But for everybody else, this is my first time meeting you, so it's a pleasure.
Hey, CW.
Pleasure to be here, Eric. Very much appreciated for the invite, and I'm happy to do this collaboration with you. And congratulations on 500 subscribers, my man.
Woo! Yes, it's a hard achievement to make. So congratulations.
It's been a slog. And we have a latecomer. Who could that be?
What's going on, everybody? I'm Davin Jackson, DJax Alpha on Twitter, Alpha Cybersecurity. Eric got me out 2 weeks in a row. So, but yeah, same thing. Congratulations. A couple things. I literally just got in and ran down to the cave, but congratulations on 500 subscribers and launching, I'm trying not to butcher it, Raices.org. Congratulations on that. I have Spanish in my family, so you know.
I did the same thing, Davin. I was like, you know what, Eric? I'm gonna let you say it because I'm gonna butcher it if I say it.
Yeah, but,
come on, Ty. You have to try it.
Too easy. Raices.
Ah, there you go.
Too easy. Woo. Too easy.
That sounded like something Ty be saying when he's in the shower. I don't know if you've seen
when he's showing his chest off.
So what's this inside joke? I don't know what the hell we're talking about.
It's not an inside joke. No,
okay. Please tell our audience about it. And I said it in one of the tweets today. I said in our new TV star. So can you enlighten everybody?
Yeah. So 2 things. Yes, I can announce it now that I am going to be on season 4 of Ready to Love on Oprah's own network. It starts October 15th. So you'll start to see me do a lot more things than just be Infosec. So I'm anxious to see how that turns out. And then the other thing is, I promise it's to promote mental health, but I have been known to take really, really cold showers on my IG. So the showers just get longer and longer and longer, but it's to promote mental health.
See, now,
and let's make sure that everybody.
I'm glad I caught that, because you don't know how close you were to getting the message of that with the D'Angelo. How is it?
I know.
I was like, ooh, okay, so it's for a good call.
Yes, I do have to drop off, but I will come back. Promise.
All right, brother.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Well, and you know, just for disclosure, he does take the showers with shorts on, so let's go over there. All right, so let's move on. So let's see. Let's welcome some of our viewers here. I see Khalila's on. I see Mary's on. Rain is there. Shayna is there.
And
And
not
we
allowed to win the giveaways today. She won both of mine for NMAP and ethical hacking. She has been informed. No more winning.
All right. Well, we're going to give away the first course right now to kick this off. So here we go. Let's see.
I love you, Shayna, but you won both of mine.
All right. So here we go. Okay. So what I want everybody to do is to go in here and for the giveaway, we're going to enter the hashtag practice safe cyber. Practice safe cyber. And we'll see these entries coming in. So go ahead in the chat. Go ahead and put practice safe cyber. Come on.
Do you know which course this is for, Eric? Which one this is going to be for?
Let's do the ethical hacking first.
Okay.
If you want to become a hacker like the rest of us, actually, I don't know. I don't know if all of us are hackers.
So while we're waiting for the entries to come in here, Harley, why don't you tell us your story, how you became a YouTuber or a cybersecurity professional? Tell us about that.
Sure. 14 years old, I knew I wanted to get into ethical hacking. Some dude tried to hack me in a video game. He sent me a link to a phishing site. And, I'd never seen this before. I was 14 years old. This was like 10 years ago. First time ever seen a phishing site in my life. But I noticed a few things were off. Like the copyright year in the footer was wrong. There was like a broken image or two on the site. It said like .tk instead of .com. So I knew it wasn't legit, but I was immediately intrigued. I was like, you can't just clone a website, right? So I spent the next few weeks just like learning how to make phishing sites and playing with like remote administration Trojans and dark comet and all this stuff. But I didn't understand what I was doing. So when there was a school that had, a cybersecurity degree program that was going to teach me how to actually do these things, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm all over that. So I knew at an early age that's what I wanted. And then it's just a path of getting there. I did IT type work, systems administration type work for about 4 years. And then I've been a pen tester for about 1 to 2 years, something like that. And then along the way, at some point I made a YouTube channel where I just kind of gave back to the community that I took so much from, I learned a lot from other people. And so as I learned things, I was like, hey, let me make a video about it and share it and post it online. And I started a blog, and it's like, it was just a public place to put my own notes. And I use my blog more than anybody else, but I have people telling me like they come across my post and they're like, that's helpful. So that's awesome.
It's always good.
That's kind of how I got started and what I do a little bit. Derek, you're muted, but I think you're trying to say something.
Your blog has shown up on my YouTube channel on a few occasions.
Nice.
And I'm hoping that Devil Ray does some Google searching during his streams eventually to then get to your blog as well, because I'm not gonna lie, it shows up as one of the top 1 or 2 with various search terms.
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing well. And I have landed on your blog post, not even meaning to, not searching for infinite logins,
right?
Literally typing in search terms, and it's like I'll be looking at it, and then I'm like, I know this guy. I talked to him.
Yeah, dude. I hear that all the time. It's mind blowing. I met a dude at DEF CON. It was like, he came up to me. He's like, are you Infinite Logins? I was like, come on. I'm a dude, like it's just crazy. And the blog thing, like I literally started it because I wanted to get a better job in cybersecurity. So I just was like, well, that'll set me apart. I'll put that on my resume, and then it turned into just, as I learned things, I published it as a blog post instead of putting it in Cherry Tree. You know what I mean? So instead of making it local, I put it online. And then I reference it from anywhere. But other people do too. So I don't know. It's super cool. And if you're trying to get in the industry, or if you're learning things and you're taking notes, I'd highly recommend just do the same, because you never know who it's going to help.
For sure. I've said that on numerous occasions. Blogs are amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go
blog
first.
Oh, go ahead.
First, for the ethical hacking, Brittany.
Yay!
Yay.
Congrats, Brittany.
Hoorah.
All right, Brittany, please get with me at info@ericbelardo.com or send me a message through Twitter. Okay, great. All right, and I'm going to also introduce one of our guests today.
Yeah, so I'm not the late one no more.
No, you're not the late one.
Derek should have warned you about me. I was late on his stream the first
Phil,
time too.
how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Tell everybody about yourself here.
Yes, I'm Phillip Wylie. I refer to myself as the hacker maker because I enjoy mentoring and teaching people penetration testing and helping them get started in the industry. I started teaching in January 2018 at Dallas College. And prior to that, I would share resources on pen testing to help people get started. I'd run into a lot of people at local meetups that wanted to get the OSCP, and they would ask my advice. And so I got into teaching in January 2018, which led into doing a lot of conference workshops and conference talks, and led up to my book that I co-wrote with Kim Crawley called The Pen Tester Blueprint, helping people get started in pen testing.
Who's
What's that?
Who's Holly? I'm gonna kick my butt later on. That's okay for saying that.
Yeah. But so that's so really got more into the side of things, doing the workshops and things. And actually this past summer, or this summer semester just ended, was my last semester at Dallas College. Because what kind of happened there was the only way to graduate with a cybersecurity degree was through my class. The internships went away. So I got a bunch of students that came in the class that wasn't interested in learning, and I would rather teach for free than get paid to teach people that don't want to learn. So some of my efforts could be more workshops outside of conferences. I've got a couple workshops coming up, for one for B-Sides Orlando next month, and Women Cyber Jitsu. I'm doing a workshop for them. Actually, three of those back-to-back months. So that's really where I want to put more of my effort in. I founded the Pwn School Project, which is more education-based than some of our local meetups in the Dallas area, but we went to streaming it in 2019, and it was mostly virtual for a while. But I'd like to see turning the Pwn School Project into something more educational, more entry-level skills for people trying to get into pen testing. So something that someone could come through and they're going to have an easier time with some of the other entry-level certifications, or maybe have an easier time starting out on something like the OSCP.
That's really interesting because we want to do that for the Hispanic community as well. So I'm going to talk to you about maybe making some of those
Sure.
resources and talking during our upcoming conference. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So that's pretty much it about me.
All right, Davin.
Yes, sir.
You've been doing this for a while. What kind of advice you would give to other cybersecurity professionals that want to get into this field of education and information and news and things of that nature?
Two things. So first of all, just do it. Like, seriously, don't worry about if it comes out right. Don't worry about if the video is well edited or any of the crap. Just do it. It gets easier. And to Harley's point earlier, by the way, nice shirt. But to Harley's point earlier,
Hey, I've rocked that shirt in my show several times, Davin. Don't
Hey,
do
man.
me.
I'm sorry. Well, fine. Nice shirt when you wear it.
You gotta rep it, right?
But
you gotta rep each other. You gotta rep it.
but yeah, but to Harley's point about back to the blog post, to me, I think blog posting is the ultimate cheat code because it serves two purposes. You're giving back to the community, and you're writing notes for yourself. Like that's literally how a lot of my blog posts started. Like, I didn't understand something, and I sat down and I crammed and tried to understand it as much as I possibly could, and then I wrote it. And now I know I have a permanent resource that I can go to anytime I'm like, wait, how do I do that again? Oh, that's right, I wrote something about it. So that's definitely something that'll also help along the way. And to me, the more you do it and the more you write about it and repeat it, the easier it is for you to teach it to somebody else. So, that's my advice. Just do it. Take notes. Write. Start a blog. Like, I don't care if you're just thinking about getting into cybersecurity. Write a blog about your first day trying to figure out cybersecurity. I'm still trying to figure out the educational side of things. Like, that's kind of been my journey that I've been documenting for a while now about how to do it, and I want to do it the right way. And I got some interesting things coming up, couple talks, because my goal is similar to what Phil was saying, is I want to bridge that gap, because there seems to be a divide when it comes to the educational side and the professional side of things when you want to teach. So the educational side is looking at it like, well, we're educators, we have degrees, and we're teachers, great, that's good for you, whatever. And then you have the cyber side, who were like, well, we know what's out there, we know how we want to teach it. And there always seems to be a clash, because sometimes the educators frown upon some of the courses that cybersecurity people create, and vice versa. So it's either not enough information or too little information. So I'm really interested in trying to bridge that gap. And like I said, I've worked with a couple people and had a couple conversations, like with Kalila and a few other people. And like I said, hopefully I'll have something more concrete in the future. But that would be my advice: is just do it. Just get started. Do the work.
Well, StudioSec has been doing some really good educational content for cybersecurity folks. So what's your take on that?
Well, I definitely think it really helps learning, because I took the Security Plus and got it last year, like really early. And then I just kind of jumped into work. And then after a little while, I was like, I'm starting to forget some of these things, not intentionally, because, it's just a lot of information, right? So, I saw Brittany in the chat kind of mention, listen, practice, teach, the best way to learn. I couldn't agree with that statement more. That's helped me so much, just kind of rehashing those fundamentals. I've been kind of going through some like OffSec stuff, and man, I'm so clueless when it comes to most of that. I'm like derping my way around. I've seen, some of you guys in the chat just like, what is this guy doing? But, but it's
me too, and I do it professionally, so don't feel bad.
Hey, I was on your, I think it was last week, I was on your stream when you were doing one of them. That's all a part of the process, man. Like, and the fact that you're doing it and you're hitting the wall on air or on live stream, it shows that you're human, right? And trust me, none of us get into this and just know exactly. Maybe Phil, because he's like the but none of us really get in, and it's like in and out all the time, 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I've said it, like there have been CTFs that I can't crack, and there have been CTFs that are harder than some government machines that I've tested. It just all depends on the luck of the draw. So keep at it, you'll be fine.
And it does, and it's funny because when we look at pen testers and we look at the things that we've done, a lot of us, at least myself, have held the OSCP certification up on like a pedestal of like, oh, I need to get this to be a pen tester, and I was one of them. I was one of them, and I got it. But that does not take away your ability as a pen tester if you cannot get it, because of the way they judge it, the things they do, the things they put in play are things that you're just not going to see all the time in industry. You're not like, oh, in order to pen test this box, you got to alter this code in this script to make this work. I'm sorry, that's more red team. That's more, hey, I'm going to develop my own exploit, not, hey, I'm a pen tester that can use Metasploit and do the job and find all your security holes. So for those that are learn the tools of the trade, man. As a pen tester, learn Metasploit, learn Nmap, learn Nessus or OpenVOS or any of the open source tools, because those are, if you know those tools, that'll get you to be a pen tester, not the certification.
So I tell people now, and like I said, I wrote a blog article about my experience with the OSCP, and how it kind of messed me up for a little while. But to me, the course is more valuable than the certification. And I say that because the course goes through a couple things. It doesn't go into super detail. And I kind of like that because half the job as a pen tester is going out and researching and Googling, right? So I can appreciate the experience of the course in the labs. I think that's what you really need to cherish. If you pass the certification, great. I'm pretty sure, like, you know, I haven't retested now. I've heard a couple things, and honestly, even some stuff about the company side, but we're not going on hit that rant right now. And I told you, and I'm not cursing. So
I will. I have no problem doing it, and Eric knows. I don't give a. You know, I'm gonna say it. I don't give a fuck. The shit they did and what they have done recently.
Yeah, with
one of our contacts.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's where they lost. That's where they lost me.
Copyright offensive security.
Yeah, I'm not.
How in the hell?
I'm not going to talk that man's business, but yeah, now. I'm going on mute.
I want to give props real quick to Brittany in the comments, who kind of threw out the OSCP comment too. Like, she's been in the deep end. I actually interviewed her on the channel, Cyro. She's awesome. She's doing some, I mean, talking about like just learning like a lot really quickly. Like, I feel like she's kind of motivated me going through that. And, you know, yeah, I just want to give some credit there. She's killing it.
I want to give Studio a chance to kind of finish his thought before I interrupted him, and then it kind of went off track. But I do also want to say, while we're talking about OSCP, I personally, while I don't think it equates to pen testing, I do feel like without the journey, I still don't have my OSCP. I failed that exam 5 times. But I think the journey of going down the OSCP got me into pen testing. And if it wasn't for that journey, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But Cody, I know, has a story related to pen testing that are related to the OSCP that is really inspiring. And I don't know if he wants to get into it right now, but he's definitely got a YouTube video on it.
I know I passed it on my second time, but that was strictly because it's not, again, it is nothing. It's just knowing how to do the report.
It's not real world. It's not real world.
It's not in pen testing.
You got to play the game.
The lab is real world. The test is not.
No. And I would say it's more similar. What they want you to do is more similar to boutique pen testing, which is not what you're going to start out doing. You know, you're going to run vulnerability scanners. You're going to run Metasploit. If it could be exploited, you know, a lot of these companies may even have, you know, like Core Impact or some other exploitation tools. So that's not off the table, because you got to make the best of the time that you have. So you're going to use those tools. So yeah. And one other thing I want to bring up that I just recently thought about, and what got me thinking about this was several years ago, I started to go back to WGU to get like a 4-year degree. I had my associate's degree. And one of the things that got me thinking is, you know, a lot of those degrees like WGU, if you had certifications that were past 5 years, they didn't give you credit for it. So when you really look at it, certifications is a point in time test. So it's the same thing as you're getting vetted for a pen test job. Someone gives you a lab environment that you got to hack into, perform a pen test. And so you're only good as that moment. If you're not keeping up, not improving, you know, because a lot of people may be doing this as a hobby. They work hard at it, get their OSCP, and maybe they're doing blue team and they quit keeping up with it. And you can lose those skills too. So you have to keep it up. So that's really, just because you have those certifications don't mean that you're at that level all the time. And that's like based on my experience too. Like, I really wished if I was going to do back then, I was interested in OSCE, but it's really one of those things I really needed to follow up right after the OSCP, because just the skills you gain is something you got to constantly work on to keep those up.
We often look at our industry through rose-colored lenses too, you know. So put it in this context, right? There are people out there that live in impoverished countries, and they are awesome at what they do. I mean, you don't have to have a degree, you don't have to have certifications, but what you do have to do is not give up on the pursuit.
I kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on the PNPT just while we're on the OSCP topic. I feel like every time, you know, I have a conversation or hear about the OSCP, the PNPT is just kind of one of those things that kind of tails next to it. And I'm kind of curious to get your guys' thoughts.
I personally, I don't know about that. Who offers that one, StudioSec?
That's TCM.
Yeah, that's
Cyber
Keith Adams.
Mentor.
Yeah, so I haven't seen his. I can rave only because I started going through the course was eLearn Security. So last year when I worked for a different company, eLearn Security, man, even their junior pen tester cert, I haven't done the cert. I started the course, and the knowledge they put out, the information they put out, and the way they disperse it is absolutely amazing. But again, it's one of those things where I'm sorry, TCM and what the Cyber Mentor and the cost he's putting on his courses and the things that he's doing, it goes above and beyond what other companies are doing. So I can't even discount what he's doing for the industry. Him, Joe Hell, you know, all of them are just doing amazing things to lower the cost of entry into industry with knowledge.
Who here has taken the PNPT?
I've gotten, I've heard a couple things about it, similar to what Derek was saying, you know, but I think he's definitely on the right track with what he's got going on. Shout out to him. I'm not, you know, I'm no way affiliated with them, but like I said, from what I've seen, even some from his Udemy courses, he really goes in detail and tries to make sure that you walk away from the course, pass or fail, you walk away from the course with some skills in hand. So I definitely salute him for that, and also Tiberius with his privileged escalation courses. I like the fact that they focus on some of the things that you really need to know.
His courses are gold, and even knowing so I've talked to Tiberius when Auto Recon, and I was working on my OSCP, and Auto Recon was a tool that I used during my OSCP, and I talked to him about it because he was revamping the script and how he was going to work it and do things, and we were discussing it. His knowledge and the way he does things and the way he has made it to where even in the README on GitHub, you can customize it and do things that maybe you want it suited for you. Okay, go in here and change these things. He is an amazing person, and I've never taken his course, but just knowing and talking to him about his knowledge and what he knows about enumeration far exceeds anything that I've ever done in my life, and what he has done. There's only one other script out there that I know of, and I can't think of what it is at this moment, but along the same lines. But essentially, it was an auto recon script that would also auto pwn boxes because it would find the default passwords and things like that at the same time. So,
well, according to OffSec, you might be referring to LinPs.
No, oh yeah, with that new. Let's not talk about that one. Them pricks. Right. That is like LinPs and WinPs was like the go-to for fucking enumeration, and they were like, "No, that's not allowed."
No, but on Studio's point with the PNPT, I sat for the exam. I can talk about it if you guys want to. I've got like a 25-minute review on YouTube about it, but long story short, if you're looking to accredit your Active Directory exploitation skills, like moving laterally through a pivot, so you externally compromise something, you pivot inside the network, and then you move laterally through Active Directory. If you want to accredit those skills, PNPT is 100% the way to go. All hands-on, all practical, super cool stuff. And one of the best things about it is you pay the 10, maybe $30 to buy TCM's course on Udemy or his academy. He'll teach you everything you need to know, and that's something that most vendors, I feel like, aren't doing. Like, I don't want to bash OffSec because, again, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for the OSCP journey. I don't agree with their business practices, and I don't agree with the way they structure some of their courses. Like you can't sit through the PWK, which is the OSCP course, and have everything you need to pass in order to actually be successful on the OSCP exam.
So,
but I can't say
let me
that.
interrupt you for a second. Ask Ty real quick, even though he's laughing over there. I wanted to ask Ty how you guys at Cover 6 teach this stuff.
Wow. So I guess the first thing is we like our marketing to be organic, right? So we don't necessarily put a lot of stuff out there. If you know about us, then you know about us. I always try to give my perspective. It's all the material has been based off of my experiences through work, and I like to teach all of my students myself, so everyone's personally heard from me and not just videos. I do what I also like to do is I like to have guests and
Even drunk guests.
yes,
when they're
drunk
3 sheets
guests,
to the
because
wind.
I feel like the students need to hear a different perspective and not just my voice all the time. So normally what I would do sometimes is I would ask the students, who in the industry would you like to hear from right now? And then they would tell me, then I would send a little message out saying, hey, would you mind joining in about 30 to 45 minutes? And most of the time they would join. And what I just continually do is just try to make it better and better and better. And we're up to almost 800 alumni now. And I know it's not in the 10,000s, but those 800 people personally heard from me. It's been a long journey, but I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, and I love your courses, Ty, and being part of being able to help do some of the buffer overflow learning and help those students along has been huge. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The reason I say I was drunk is because he caught me 3 sheets to the wind one night and was like, "Hey, can you jump on in 5 minutes?" Yeah, sure, why not? I'm only 12 beers deep. I'll do it. But it was still an experience to help them. And I think with the way Ty does his courses, regardless of whether it's SOC analyst or pen testing, it's how I've met a lot of his students, and I think they're doing amazing things. And even now, with the company I work for, if somebody applies for a job, they're like, "Hey, can you reach out to Ty because they went through Cover 6?"
Yeah, I essentially just wanted to build a community, of folks, and that's really how it all started. And then I just couldn't stop. So every time I have a class, you're tired. You're like, I'm never teaching again. But then once the class is over, you're like, man, I can't wait to the next class. How can I make the next class better? And every time I try to leave, people keep pulling me back.
And the same question for you, Phil. So you're the hacker maker. So you do all these classes. Tell us about your strategy or how do you teach? What's your philosophy?
Yeah, definitely hands-on, but you need some methodology. And so like can you hear me? Oh, I know what's going on here.
I can hear you, but it's low.
Yeah, my mic was way out of the way. Yeah, okay. So what I was doing at my course at Dallas College, I would also have the students perform a pen testing class. So towards the end of the semester, they actually did a pen test. So that's kind of how they helped there. And it helped a lot. And they wrote a report too. So it wasn't just going through hacking stuff. They had to submit a pen test at the end of the semester. And during the semester, they're going through the course content, and I would do lectures and demo tools and stuff from them, but it was having them do the actual pen test. And kind of you can go back and mention like the OSCP stuff. I had referred someone to the company where I work at a couple years ago, and he'd been through the OSCP, and he was saying about the job. He said, man, this is nothing like the OSCP. And even back on the same subject, I was pen testing for over a year before I passed the OSCP. So I was actually doing the job already and really didn't even need the cert.
And if you notice, every head here bobbed, everybody went like this, because it definitely in the industry, it's not like any of these, call it, certifications.
For what I do, it is directly applicable, but it doesn't cover topics like evasion nearly as in depth as it needs to.
Yeah.
No, and one of the things that I've learned going through boot camps. So I went through CEH boot camp with InfoSec Institute. I've gone through boot camps with several boot camps with InfoSec Institute, actually, CEH, CISP, and all these others. And the instructors there, along with SANS, because I did do the SANS ones also, is very much, we're going to teach you how to do the job. And I think that's what OffSec and what the OSCP lacks is They're not teaching you how to do the job. They're teaching you how to, I don't know, use exploit DB in their own tools versus doing an actual job. But a lot of that comes down to an instructor. And with the OSCP, you don't have an instructor, you have a PDF. And it's like, read this, watch some videos, maybe, and break into boxes and then do a test. Whereas SANS and InfoSec Institute and what they teach for their certifications are very much so, we're going to teach you how to do a job. And Davin, who me and him have talked on many, many of occasions, we have the same mentor in Keytron Evans, and that man will teach you how to do the damn job.
I was just about to say that. Shout out to Keytron.
Yeah, he has taught me so many things in evasion and covering your tracks and things that you don't get taught in a normal course. And I got denied a job for the military when I was retiring because I told them they teach it the wrong way. They teach how to be loud, how to be obnoxious, and not how to do anything. And I want to teach you how to be silent and hide your tracks, hide what you're doing. And they never called me back. So
just talk about the difference between red teaming and pen testing.
Exactly. I'm more for learning the red team style of things because you can do the pen testing style of things and know the tools. You can know Nmap and blast 65,535 ports. Or you can be like, you know what? I know they have a website. Let's see what it's running. Or I know they're running something on SSH. And so the style of learning and the style of teaching is just completely different.
And I think that I'm the only pure blue guy here, right? Because everybody else is red, right? And you're purple cyber warrior, right?
I'm blue team as well.
You're blue.
I'm purple. Yeah. I've done both, and I can do both.
Yeah. I'm purple now. Yeah.
When you say Nmap, I'm like logs.
But again, that's the thing is but you have to know both sides to do either job. I feel you have to know both sides because to be a pen tester and to truly help the blue team side out, you should be able to write a report and tell them, you know, what the fix, what they were doing wrong, what is open, and to know what you're bypassing. If they have EDR, or if they have something like that, you know, how'd you get by it? How can they fix their shit?
So early on in my career, and I think I talked about this last week. Like I said, I really wanted to get into cyber forensics. Like I freaking love cyber forensics. But I definitely think it made me a better pen tester because from a forensic side of things, if I know what they're going to look for for incident response, as a pen tester, I'm going to try to avoid that. I'm going to avoid, fat fingering anything that brings up an error message that could lead to a log. I'm going to try to make sure that if I get in, I'm going to delete any logs that shows that I was there. Keytron, one of the first things he taught me was infect the hell out of it with malware, because the first thing they do when a machine is infected with malware, they go wipe it. So did you
get his exploit? Did he show you his exploit where he would blue screen a system?
No, he talked about it. He talked about it, but he didn't actually show us the actual.
He gave it to us and showed it to us because he said it's in all the signatures now for every AV out there.
Yeah.
But literally, he would hide a file. It would blue screen the system. And what do sysadmins do whenever you blue screen a computer?
Unplug it from the network and
unplug it and redo it.
Yep. So
they hid your tracks for you.
Yeah. but that's my point, right? So learning I highly encourage taking an incident response or a cyber forensics or a blue team course, even if you don't have any intentions of going to the blue team or doing purple teaming. Because it'll complement each other. Like for me, if I ever do go into blue teaming or forensics, I know what to look for from a pen testing side, and from a pen tester, I know what the forensics people are going to look for if I'm in their system. So definitely, I mean, it's like learn your enemy, know your enemy, right? So
I want to advocate even for like just starting off even or getting some experience on blue team or any kind of like, I mean, honestly, any team, but it really just kind of helps to see the day-to-day life, you know, as you said, know your enemy. So kind of knowing like what the day-to-day is like for the people on the other side and kind of some of the things that they're looking for. You know, the best way to learn it is to be down in the trenches with them and doing it. I've learned a ton just doing that. And I feel like that's kind of impacted how I even like been kind of going after some of the OffSec stuff. So
And somebody is in the chat saying stuff.
That may or may not be your wife. I cannot confirm nor deny.
Could be my girlfriend. Yeah, I started in forensics, but I did more of the data forensics for federal agencies and other companies. And you know, I spent good 4 or 5 years doing forensics pure. And trust me, that was it was a awesome experience. It prepared me for more the blue side of the house, but it can get to your brain, all the things that you see, and you know, call about PTSD. It was pretty bad. So,
Yeah, and talking about people, you know, you mentioned people's histories and most people being red. I actually started out on blue teams, so I spent 6 years as a sysadmin, and then a year and a half in network security, because now I guess more they refer to as operations security. And then from 2005 to March 2012, I was doing AppSec. So I'd spent all those years in those other areas before I even touched pen testing.
And that's an interesting area because, you know, right now everything is apps, everything is websites, and people they suck at separating their data layer and their application layer and their presentation layer, and they just put it all together. So you crack one side, you own the whole thing. So in AppSec, I feel that there's not a lot of people talking about that area.
Well, we don't, and I want to touch on that. I really do, but there's a very, very important question and some comments in chat about burnout that I think Davin and I and Ty and those that have just grind nonstop, which is probably all of us, about this. So I want to touch on it because burnout is very important. And when it hit me was last year. And you're talking to somebody that is dedicated his life to IT, cybersecurity since the time I was 7 and never felt it a problem. When I started doing my YouTube channel and really got hot and heavy last year, I started to feel it because not only was I working full time, I was also doing a YouTube channel where I was trying to do technical videos. I was trying to do Hack the Box. I was trying to do, you know, everything I could to continue on. Burnout's real, and it can really drive you away from industry. So one of the things I will say is if you have a work schedule that says, hey, you're 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever the hell it may be, dude, set your boundaries. I don't give a damn what anybody tells you. Set your boundaries. If you have pet projects, if you have a family, if you have something else you have to do, set your damn boundaries. Now, the caveat to that is, and I will only throw this out there, if you work with clients and have a job where you are supposed to be on call, you got to be prepared for that because it does happen, especially as a blue teamer. You will see SOC analysts and engineers get called at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, hell, whenever, and be like, hey, we got an emergency. It happens. So just be prepared for that and align your schedule to understand that if you're done at 5, go spend time with your family because you know you got to be at bed at 9:30 because your phone might go off at 1 o'clock in the morning. It very well may. So just do that. But you have to set your boundaries for your natural work day. If you're working past your natural work day, that's when you're going to get your burnout, especially.
So I'm going to give everybody one go at this question. So let's start with Studio.
this is going after burnout. Sorry.
Yep. Look at the question below.
Yeah, I just needed to take some time. Like earlier this year, I kind of had some burnout too. I mean, exact same thing you're talking about, Cyber Warrior. Like, but the 9 to 5 is pretty intensive as it is, and then throwing a channel on top of it, then throwing a marriage on top of it, and then all the other things you're trying to do as well. It it can get to be quite a bit. And I was going pretty hard with the channel at the start of the year, and yeah, burnt out kind of hard. And just taking some time, just to not do, I took time away from the channel. I feel like one of the things that really helps me is like, working out with my wife. That's nice. Going for drives. That's really nice. I don't know. It's different person to person, I feel like, but just finding a hobby, finding something that you can be either by yourself or with someone that you really enjoy being around, and being able to think and just kind of, blow the steam off. That's really helpful.
CW.
This might be a little energetic, so I'm going to try and be mindful of my language. I have not been burned out by the job at all since I started red teaming. Not a single time. I've lost a teenage cousin this year. My relationship with my family has been almost completely destroyed. And during that time, I put in. I'm not saying this as it's bragging. I'm saying it because I had something to do and I needed to get it done. So I put in 300 hours throughout that time to complete a red team report. And here's why: because before I got that position, nobody would give me a chance. Nobody would be like, hey, CW Infosec, why don't you kind of get into this security thing? You seem to have a mind for it. At every single opportunity, people have been the roadblock for me, and people are what burns me out.
Okay. Harley.
Oh, hey, it's me. I mean, I kind of can agree with Cody. When you have a passion for cybersecurity and when like you love this stuff, it's harder to get burnt out because you can put 60 hours a week into it and not really feel like work. It's your hobby, and so you're just enjoying your hobby. So if that's you, if you love this stuff, you may not deal with burnout in the same way as some others. With that said, even though I love this stuff, I have dealt with burnout where I work my 40 hours at my day job. I work my 20 hours on my sub, contracting gigs that I do. And then I burn hours on YouTube and other content. So it does become a bit much. And I think it's just important to, as everybody else has said, take time away. If you can find a company that appreciates mental health and appreciates PTO and lets you take a 3-day weekend once a month or something, take advantage of that. But at the same time, I think if you're going to be super successful in this field, you really have to have the mindset of this is what you're passionate about. You love this stuff. If you're just doing it for the money, you're not going to last.
All right, Davin.
So, couple things. Yeah, it is usually the people or the environment that play a major role in it. So sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so easy to walk away from it, from that environment. But if you can, get the hell out of there, because no one wants to be in a toxic situation. I've been burned out several times, partly some of it because of the job, some of them because I was going so hard at what I was trying to do. But the name of the game is, knowing yourself and knowing your body. You know what you can take, and and your body will tell you. And if you keep ignoring your body has a way of shutting the whole shit down. So, don't ignore the signs. As far as the work-life balance thing is concerned, I might be showing my age, but go watch the 5 Heartbeats. Big Red. My office hours are from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I'm not encouraging anybody to hang people off the roof like Big Red did, but that's the type of energy you have to do with keeping your work-life balance. I'll leave it to Ty and Phil now.
All right, Phil.
Yeah, for me, the day job, really I don't get burnout. It's just all the extra stuff, because like last year towards December, I started getting burnout because in 2020, I spoke and did workshops at 28 different conferences. And some of those I did 2 talks, 2 workshops, or a talk and a workshop. So December, fortunately, there's less conferences going on, so it kind of slowed down. But at the same time too, I was working on a side pen test. So at least I got a little break from this other area, and currently been doing some side pen testing, which got a couple that I'm finishing up. And after that, it's going to be a break from the pen testing piece, since that's what I do for my day job. Because there for almost a year, I was doing just dedicated education stuff as the day job. And so the side pen testing I felt like was more important to keep my skills up. And now since the day job I do that, probably backing off on that so I can keep going with because even though I quit teaching, I'm streaming once a week, and then I do a weekly podcast too, on top of being on other people's podcasts and that sort of thing.
What's the name of your podcast, Phil? Please let us know.
The Hacker Factory.
There you go. There you go.
So I got the Cyber Mentor coming out on this Friday. I had Dave Kennedy last week, and so also had a bonus one this week. I talked to Harmjoy and Lee Christensen from SpecDrops about their latest, or their Active Directory certificate service vulnerabilities they found, the research they found. So that was pretty cool. So that came out this week.
Yeah, I get their notifications on my other Twitter account on a regular basis.
All right, Ty.
All right. So many good points. So I'm currently on year 26, right, of this tech thing, and I truly do love it. I truly have the inability to tell someone no if they ask for help, right? So hundreds of meetups, classes, running a business. I loved it. I called it the grind, right? COVID hit last year, and things kind of slowed down. But then COVID also helped me get on the grind, and the grind felt good. And I really was trying to ride that wave. And I was actually studying for the OSCP at the time. So I was going, because I wasn't going outside. From the moment I woke up, I would grab my laptop and just work. So work, panels, processes for the business, class development, content development, study for the OSCP late at night. My mind was in it. You know what I mean? My mind was in it. It was my body that kind of let me down. And I'm going to share this tweet. And I learned about anxiety, and it took me a long time to get past that. So now I have this fear of going back to that, feeling like I'm having a heart attack, feeling like I could lose it, feeling like, I have to step away from something that I love, right? And it was tough. Like all these different things was weighing on me, but eventually, I developed ways to beat it all. And now I don't want to say I don't care about the grind, but I care about my health more, which is why I do the mental health challenges, right? Step away, right? Step away before you have to step away. You know what I mean? Get that rest. It's okay. Nothing's going anywhere. You have plenty of time to get this work done. You have plenty of time to study, plenty of time to get those certs. Stop stressing. Listen to Abraham Hicks, Eckhart Tolle, whoever you want. You know what I mean? Just don't stress. And I refuse to go back to having those anxiety attacks, losing it all. So it's now, I have a lot of more F's. I don't want to curse. It's not my show.
I already did.
But I have a lot more F's in my system now when it comes to stepping away. I'm okay with stepping away.
According to Eric, I'm the angry hacker, so you're more than welcome to.
There's a really good book that you guys should read. Is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Giving, yes.
Pick that up.
Yeah,
Good
definitely.
book.
And it's one of those things, man. Like, and Ty, you can reach out to me anytime. Davin, Phil, Harley, anybody, I'm always all ears for whoever. And it's one of those things. It comes down to being able to just be like, you know what, shit happens. It does. But when it comes to something you're really trying to accomplish, it's hard to step away and realize that shit happens. Like it really is. Like the OSCP for me, when I failed the first time, I was like, what the fuck? Like this should have never happened. I know I should have done it. But for all those out there that have failed multiple times, and I mean over and over again, look, man, it's not the end all be all. You can get a job in pen testing, red teaming, you name it, without it. It's not one of those certs in DoD 8570 that's like, to get a government job, you need to have this. Look, go get the most basic CEH that is multiple guests, and you're golden in just about any job right now for HR. Like, you pass every HR filter with a CEH. I hate to say it, but it's fucking true.
Okay. So I'm going to give my 2 minute or 30 second on burnout, and then we're going to do the next giveaway. All right. So for me, my story is I've been in the cybersecurity field almost continuously for 32 years now. Going 32 years here in 22. So I beat you, Ty. But I don't know if I beat Davin. He's got more white on his beard. So 32 years. I'm going to get it later. All right. So I have burnt out several times in my career because I felt like I have to do this. I've got to be better than the next person. You all know that I started the Rise of Cyber, and as a minority of minorities, I always felt like I had to do more than the next person over. And I got to the point where it was my health. I was doing, let's see, 20 hours a day, Saturdays and Sundays included. And that was on my primary job, not just my other stuff. And I burnt out so bad that I ended up in the hospital a couple times. Blood sugar went through the roof, chest pains, the whole bit. So what I tell everybody is, pace yourself. Pace yourself. Listen to your body, because it does tell you when you've reached that limit. And even though I haven't gotten there, I decided that I was going to start exercising, so I bought a mat. Woohoo! But I haven't used it yet.
DDP yoga. I'm not going to try to be an ad, but DDP yoga has been amazing for me. It really has. And it helps my back as a vet with back and neck and shoulder issues. It has been goddamn amazing. And I'll end my rant.
All right. With that, let's go to the next giveaway here real quick. All right. Let's do Practice Safe Cyber again. Let's do a hype train there. All right. Let's go ahead.
While you're at it, make sure to hit that like button. It'll help out the YouTube algorithm,
And subscribe. And, when this is over, come back in and comment. Because the live comments don't count. You got to come back in after and comment on the regular comments.
You got a bunch of YouTubers here. We couldn't go the whole episode without saying that. Come on.
Smash that like button. Just smash it.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
But yes, we all do
all of our shit.
Right? So look, everybody here does YouTube and or a podcast or whatever else. We can go through the gambit of different channels. And honestly, if you look up StudioSec, Cyber Warrior Studios, CW Infosec, or any names given here, you'll find them all. Cover 6 Solutions, Phillip Wylie, Alpha Cybersecurity. I mean, they're all there. So please, please, please go through, check out the other channels, check out the other videos. It really does help us all. And we are all trying to give back to the community in some way, shape, or form. So I do beg of you, check them all out.
right, here we go. We got a lot more people now.
Who can do a drum roll? Anybody? Hey,
Hey, there he is.
So again,
Congratulations.
please contact me at info@ericbelardo.com for your code for that. So congratulations. And I love the Deadpool icon there.
Very
I
nice,
love when
very nice.
Deadpool kills everybody at the end of Deadpool 2. I'm just saying.
Oh, you didn't say what is it? When you tell something about the movie?
Oh, spoiler alert. If you
Spoiler
haven't seen Deadpool 2, at the end of the credits, he kills himself.
Thanks, man.
Okay, hold on for a
Deadpool
second.
can't die, right?
I was gonna say the uncut version. I was about to say the uncut version. He goes on quite the spree.
Oh, that's what I watch. Is
Yeah.
At the end of the credits, like he literally, and look, I don't care about spoilers. This movie's like a year or two old, maybe even longer. So I don't care. But at the end of Deadpool 2, he literally goes and he kills his X-Men version of himself.
Yeah, you can't blame it.
Oh,
You
wait,
can't
hold
blame
on.
him for that.
How?
Wait, hold on.
Is that-
He killed Ryan. He killed himself as he killed Ryan Reynolds
Yes.
in the Green Lantern script.
He did that too. Yes,
Yeah.
he did that too.
I think on a note about spoilers, I think 1 year is the statute of limitations. If the movie's older than 1 year, it's free game. You can
I
say
don't know.
whatever
In
you
all the
want.
groups I watched, it was like you got a week and then you're screwed.
They all die at the end of Titanic. I'm sorry, guys, but it's what happens in the movie.
There was room on that board.
That door was spacious.
We're not gonna get started on that one. My daughter, don't let my daughter hear. She busts through the door and go on a whole rant about that. But yeah, the Deadpool one. There's another one, but I don't want to say it because I'm not sure. Even though it's who it is, I don't want to get canceled for what he did. But just look up uncut Deadpool.
Oh man, he's great. I love Ryan Reynolds and everything he's done with Deadpool.
I thought you were going to say the Bible. I would have spoiled it for you.
No,
the guy
Which
comes
one?
back in the end.
What'd you say, Ty?
You say you thought you were talking about the Bible.
I was going to tell you the guy comes back in the end.
Yeah, no, and definitely he goes back in time and kills one other person, but
yeah,
not what you think.
Oh, okay,
One last
okay.
question for the night.
I got a question for that one. I got an answer for that one as a blue teamer, but I'll let someone else go first. Any other blue teamers here that want to answer that? No? No?
Why is it harder to find a blue team mentor than for pen testing?
Because the blue team are too busy working. They don't have time to
Yeah.
mentor you.
So I feel like one of the bigger differences between the blue team and like pen testing, I feel like on the offensive side, there's like a set of commands that you have to put in, and it's either going to work or it's not, right? But I feel like on the blue team side, there's more like mental, there's more imagination in there that you can use to find, information that you're looking for. And it's really like up to your interpretation how you want to use this base set of, your go-to tools. And I just feel like on the offensive side, like you can literally point someone to like a specific set of training and that would get them started. Like I recently found out that there's a SOC analyst track now on Try Hack Me. So like you can literally point people to be like, hey, go here, right? Come back in 6 months, right? But on the blue team side, on the blue team side, it's just a lot different because it's hard. It's a little bit harder to get that baseline of skills. It's not like you can just teach them the attack methodology and then be done with it, right? Like there's so much more there on the blue side.
I think part of it too is it's blue team is seen a lot of times as like less sexy than the red team, right? Like, you can, especially as content creators, no offense, man, I'm so sorry if you took offense to that. But like as content creators, I feel like it's a little bit more entertaining to pop shells than it is to review logs, and so I can make a video about it. I can have a live stream about it, and I'll probably get more views and more engagement because of that. And so it's more enticing for the red team to put themselves out there because it's a little bit.
So
cool.
you just did the whole holy grail of what not to say to a blue teamer. You don't look at log files all day long.
I know,
No,
man.
and-
I
and-
know. I'm just saying,
I'm mad.
you know, just
But-
like we don't pop shells all day long, right? But I use that as an example.
But I get your point. But and here's the thing: is it is very much seen as red team is more sexy. Being a pen tester is more sexy. It's more engaging.
I blame Mr. Robot.
I'm
I
all
blame
for
him
it.
because I want to say, I mean, 5 to 10 years ago, you heard about pen testing jobs, but, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I wasn't big on Twitter 5-10 years ago, but it was really niche, right? You had to know it. It wasn't out there like that. Between Mr. Robot, between the 2016 debacle and all of that stuff with the Russians hacking and everything and all of that stuff, I think that brought it more into the forefront. Because like I said before, there's a lot of cool jobs on the blue team side. Like I said, I love incident response and I love cyber forensics. But to Harley's point, I don't think if you sit down and explain to people what you do and you say, okay, well, yeah, I got to go through logs and I got to go here and I'm scraping data from here and I'm trying to make sure I maintain chain of custody, unless they're really into that, they're not going to really want to pay attention, right? But if you say, I hack shit all day.
And it comes down to terminology, and it comes down to, so like, even on my channel, my Security Onion videos that I've done the past 2 weeks have gotten more views than my buddy Devil Ray, who's done offensive security with Hashcat and installing ParrotSec. And it's one of those things where if you explain it in the right way and give people a reason to view, as a creator, it comes down to how you're providing the information. And so those that are on blue teams want to know how to, say, defend or find or be notified by, say, the new Razor local Privesk hack. So being able to do something like that and provide that information, and something like that's open source like Security Onion, I mean, that'll at least give them the information that they can use. And so it really comes down to what you're providing. And I do think it comes down to, we don't have enough blue team content out there to make it sexy, to make it appealing. I think we have a lot of red team because, yes, hacking with Mr. Robot, as people have said, and other providers is very much appealing. But I think if you show what you can do with recovering a hard drive, with Security Onion, with everything else like that, and all the tools that are out there, it's not all logs, man. Threat hunting and going on the dark net and being able to infiltrate these dark web groups and getting to this forums and being able to see this content and this stuff they're selling is much more appealing than people think that it really is.
Oh, most definitely. Like, I think, well, a while back we did one. I did something. I didn't stream it though, but it was like I did it like a field trip. Like we're taking a field trip to the dark web, and that probably to this day was probably like my most successful thing ever. And I'm mad that I didn't stream that. Well, but I'm also glad that I didn't stream it. But
I
yeah,
have a story about the dark web. So I got interviewed while I was in Orlando for a piece in the WESH NBC. And while I was explaining what the dark web was, I kind of started talking about credit cards, social security numbers, and I stopped and paused and said, and edibles. And I paused again, and everybody that actually watched that were like, dude, you linger too much on edibles there. What's the story? So, all right, so we're going to do the last drawing of the night, and this time the hashtag is blue team is sexy. Okay, so everybody that's still watching us, go ahead and put that. This is for the Nmap course.
I just want to say, without the blue team, red team wouldn't exist. So no matter what, no matter how you put it,
yourself. I know.
Well,
but without either, neither would exist.
Even from an organizational perspective, the entire point of the red team is to be there for the blue team. We're not there to hack stuff and write reports. We're really there to build up their skill sets and make the organization better.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a yin and the yang. Okay, so without one, the other one doesn't exist. And we joke around about the blue team and red team and all that stuff, but we're both sides of the same. We're on the same side.
But I think a lot of organizations don't see it that way, and a lot of people want to segregate themselves. And I've said it before on my channel, where it comes down to the same thing as cybersecurity integrating themselves with IT. Is you need to be friendly with IT if you're working for a company. Now, that's not an MSSP. That's not a consulting company. I'm saying if you work for an organization like Capital One or anything like that in security, you need to be ingrained with IT and be friends with them, because they're the ones that are going to push patches. They're the ones that are going to implement whatever security measures you say need to be there. But if you're not friends with them, if you're not on the same page and they're not willing to come to you, if you always say no or whatever the case may be, then whatever security you want to put out, they're going to ignore. They're going to bypass in whatever way they can.
All right, here we go. For the Nmap course. Hey.
Oh, Mary. Love it.
Congrats.
Woohoo. So you know what to do. She actually knows where to.
Mary knows both of us, so Mary will be more than willing to just get a hold of you. I love Mary. Mary's been a huge supporter. Mary's been a huge supporter of, I think, every content creator that I've seen come on Twitter and has been, out there. And I give much respect to Mary and the things that she's done. Mary, your order for the merchandise you ordered should be out tomorrow. It start shipping, according to what they told me when I said, "What the hell is taking so long?"
Don't forget to buy me his merch.
I'm just saying.
We all do it,
Alpha Davin got some great merch. I've got a shirt and like 3 stickers off of that man, and I got to get some more because you came out with some new stuff that I got to get. But I also got to get Cyber Papa's merch because he's got stuff out that practice safe cyber. I would love to wear that shirt around and see what people say.
Yeah, I got to grab one of those too.
Speaking of shirts, I have to share this, and especially since summer camp just passed. One of my co-hosts for the Denton Pwn School meetings that I have, while he was at the 2019 DEF CON, he had this shirt that said something about man in the middle, and he had this couple approach him about him being the man in the middle.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, cybersecurity can be sexy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, winning Vegas.
My wife designs all my merch. Cybersecurity can be very sexy. She bought me this shirt. All right, I'm just gonna say.
Hey, as long as everybody's practicing safe cyber, practice safe cyber, right?
Right there.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight and celebrating with me the 500th subscriber. Hopefully, when we hit 1,000, we'll have an even bigger show. So we're really close. We're at 550 or something. Okay. So.
Look, hey, everybody share this stream. Everybody share Belardo 73 on Twitter. Eric Belardo Cyber. Davin Jackson, go ahead and share him. Phil Wylie, CW Infosec, Infinite Login, StudioSec. At the end of the day, we we really all have a lot of major things going on. If you haven't checked into Infosec Unplugged on Davin Jackson's stream, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube, you're really missing out. He supports a lot of underrepresented people, that especially tech sec chicks, blacks in cyber, and things like that I think need to be represented. Phil Wylie with what he's got going on, I think is amazing. I really need to check into your stuff more. Do you have that on podcast by chance, Phil?
Yes. Yeah. The stuff I have, the Hacker Factory podcast. It's on. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'll download it on my Apple podcast.
And they recently updated. Before you had to subscribe to everything on ITSP magazine. Now you can subscribe to all that and subscribe to mine alone too.
Okay. I'll make sure I check into that and get that. The blogs from Infinite Logins on top of his YouTube channel are amazing. CW Infosec, dude, thank you for all your support. Like, you've been amazing lately. I haven't tagged you in Follow Fridays. I apologize. There's a lot of people I've missed out on, but I literally hit letters and go down and click the names that show up. Like, that's how I do. StudioSec, you've been amazing. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time, I have a fellow soldier, a fellow veteran, Fernando Araguin.
Right.
And he has he's a good guy. He is now into machine learning and artificial intelligence. I love how you saved that. Or no, he made that comment. I love it. He's a great guy, and I'd love to get into machine learning and AI with him and talk about that tomorrow. So if you haven't tuned in to Security Happy Hour, go ahead, check out Cyber Warrior Studios and check out all our old episodes.
What's Cyber Warrior Studios?
My show. Look, it's my channel, and I also have Devil Ray Pen Testing on there on Wednesdays.
Nice.
Who just recently did a video on installing Parrot Sec. So if you haven't checked out Devil Ray or Devil Ray Pen Testing, he is on Cyber Warrior Studios YouTube channel. Just an FYI if you're into offensive security.
Well, thank you, Eric. I appreciate you putting this together. This was awesome.
Thank you very much, everybody. All right, folks. So thank you very much for watching. Everybody out there, don't forget Cyber Papa or Cyber Poppy says practice safe cyber. Until the next time that we meet with you guys, we will see you soon. So take care, everybody.